No, it's not a misleading title or thumbnail. It is true, totally true, and we're gonna talk about it in detail. But before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Sundar, this is Technology Jock. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get video notifications. This is something that I already spoke about in my reaction video of the Apple events live stream a few weeks back, but it's been taken down by YouTube over some copyright issues, and I've done more research this time around. So you guys probably know that the regular wide-angle camera of any dual camera iPhone is better than its telephoto camera. The reason? The primary camera has a larger sensor and a lens with wider aperture. And it's no different with the iPhone XS and XS Max. Both cameras have 12 megapixel sensors. The primary camera has a 1x2.55 inch sensor, which is much larger than the secondary camera's 1x3.4 inch sensor. Now the thing with iPhones is they use the secondary camera for portrait mode. The only exception is the iPhone XR, which doesn't have a secondary camera. So it uses its single camera for portrait mode, kinda like the Pixel 2. And this camera is exactly the same as the iPhone XS's primary camera. Under good lighting conditions, there wouldn't be a huge difference in the quality, since the secondary camera specifications are good enough for daylight shooting scenarios. It's under low light when the iPhone XS struggles to get good portrait pictures. Theoretically, the iPhone XR should perform a lot better, since the single camera is the same as the iPhone XS's primary camera. So basically, it's iPhone XS's primary camera versus secondary camera. To find out what the difference would be like, I did some testing. Okay, I couldn't do a lot in this pothole, so I decided to head out, meet a couple of friends and have a little portrait session with them. Now, I do not have the iPhone XS and the XR with me, so I used my Xiaomi Mi 6 for testing. Why and how? Because the specs are quite similar. Both Mi 6 and iPhone XS have 12 megapixel primary cameras with f1.8 aperture and 12 megapixel secondary cameras with narrower aperture. And both phones use the secondary camera for portrait mode. So we are gonna click a portrait picture with the primary camera of the Mi 6 and then the secondary camera of the Mi 6 and then compare them. To shoot portrait pictures with the secondary camera, we have the stock camera app. And then we've got the Google camera mod to shoot portraits using the primary, the better camera, just like the iPhone XR does. So we can expect this difference and this difference to be more or less similar. We are not gonna consider the edge detection or background blur, we're just gonna see how bright and clean the images are. Since the Google camera's portrait mode uses the wide-angle camera, I had to go closer to the subject to match the frame. Here are the results. As you can see, there's a significant difference in brightness and the amount of noise. This is just to give you an idea about the iPhone XR's superiority over the XS with regards to portraits, since the iPhone XS does not use the camera with the larger sensor and wider aperture. So, a cheaper iPhone capturing better portraits under low light, iPhone XS and XS Max users will not like this. Now do keep in mind that dual cameras help with accurate edge detection. The iPhone XR may not be as good as the iPhone XS when it comes to accurately figuring out the edges of the subject and blurring the background. I mean, the Mi 6 has excellent edge detection. Here are a few portrait mode images I shot with the stock camera app. But then under low light, when the image itself is so noisy and dark, unusable, what's the point of having good edge detection? Here's what I generally do when I click portraits. I use the stock camera app under good lighting conditions because, like I said, the secondary camera is good enough. But when it's dark, I switch to the Google camera app because it uses the primary camera for portraits. Even if it fails to detect the edges properly, it's not a big deal because there's another copy of the image without the background blur. just like a regular photo. Apple most probably is aware of this. I don't expect Apple to make one camera do all the portrait work on the iPhone XS because it takes a hit on the edge detection and depth mapping. But at least give users an option to switch to primary camera for portrait mode. Yes, I am aware that no other manufacturer is doing this. Samsung has a similar setup, but there's no such option. The Mi 6 and Mi 8 have a similar setup, but no such option. Until last year, I didn't expect that option from Apple either. But right now I do, because this year, Apple has proved they can make portrait mode work with a single camera, work to an extent at least. So I don't think it's unfair to ask for this tiny feature. Just enable something that's already available on the iPhone XR. Not a big deal, right? If you agree, share this video on social media, let everyone know about this. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to Technology Jock for more videos like this, and hit that bell icon to receive notifications for my videos. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sundar, leaving for the moment. Have a nice day.